Hey everyone, today we're diving into the fascinating world of phycology. But what exactly is phycology? Simply put, phycology is the scientific study of algae. Think of it as the botany of the aquatic world. Algae are a diverse group of photosynthetic organisms. They range from tiny, single celled microalgae that you need a microscope to see, to massive, multicellular seaweeds that can grow hundreds of feet tall. Here we can see microscopic green algae cells under a microscope. Each of these tiny spheres contains multiple green structures that carry out photosynthesis. On the other end of the spectrum, we have macroalgae like this kelp forest. These underwater giants can create entire ecosystems, providing shelter and food for countless marine organisms. What makes algae so special is that they're photosynthetic. Just like plants, they use sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to create their own food and release oxygen as a byproduct. Here's the amazing part. Algae produce a huge chunk of the world's oxygen. In fact, they're responsible for generating much of the oxygen we breathe every day. Algae are primary producers in aquatic ecosystems, meaning they form the foundation of the food web. They convert sunlight into energy that supports all other life in aquatic environments. So remember, phycology is the study of these incredible organisms that not only produce the oxygen we breathe, but also support entire aquatic ecosystems. Pretty amazing for something so often overlooked. The study of algae has a fascinating history spanning over 2,000 years. We can trace this journey through four distinct periods, each bringing new tools, methods, and understanding to the field of phycology. Our story begins in ancient Greece, where early scholars made the first recorded observations of algae. Greek philosophers and naturalists noticed these mysterious green organisms in water, though they had no way to understand their true nature or importance. The second period saw the formalization of Western sciences. During the Renaissance and Enlightenment, scientists began systematic studies of the natural world. This era brought the first microscopes and more organized approaches to studying algae. The third period, from 1800 to 1950, brought remarkable technological advances. Scientists developed better microscopes, classification systems, and laboratory techniques. This era established algae as a distinct field of study. Finally, the modern era beginning in 1950 brought revolutionary changes. Electron microscopy, molecular biology, and genetic analysis transformed our understanding. Today, we study algae at the cellular and molecular level, unlocking their potential for biotechnology and environmental solutions. Each period in algae's history built upon the previous one, from simple observations to sophisticated molecular analysis. This progression shows how scientific understanding evolves through better tools, methods, and collaborative research across centuries. Algae are incredibly diverse organisms, ranging from tiny single-celled microbes to massive seaweeds. With such variety, scientists need a systematic way to organize and classify them. Scientists classify algae based on three main criteria: their cell structure, the pigments they contain, and other cellular characteristics. This helps us understand their relationships and evolution. Using these criteria, algae are organized into four major groups. Let's explore each one, starting with the prokaryotic algae, also known as cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are the simplest algae. They're actually bacteria that can photosynthesize with no nucleus or membrane-bound organelles. They're found everywhere, from oceans to hot springs. Next, we have Archaepastida, which includes red algae and green algae. These have true nuclei and are more complex than cyanobacteria. The third group is Rhizaria, which includes euglenoids and dinoflagellates. These are often mobile algae with unique features like flagella for swimming. Finally, we have Chromista, which includes diatoms and brown algae. Diatoms have beautiful glass-like shells, while brown algae include the giant kelp forests we see in the ocean. Each of these groups has evolved unique adaptations for their environments. In the following sections, we'll dive deeper into each group to understand their specific characteristics and importance. Cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae, are fascinating organisms that blur the line between bacteria and algae. Despite their name, they're actually prokaryotic bacteria, not true algae at all. To understand what makes cyanobacteria special, we need to look at their cellular structure. Unlike true algae, cyanobacteria are prokaryotes, meaning they lack a membrane-bound nucleus and other organelles. Cyanobacteria are among the oldest life forms on Earth, with fossil evidence dating back over 3.5 billion years. These ancient organisms were the first to perform oxygenic photosynthesis, fundamentally changing our planet's atmosphere. One of the most important functions of cyanobacteria is nitrogen fixation. They convert atmospheric nitrogen gas into ammonia, which other organisms can use. This process occurs in specialized cells called heterocysts. Cyanobacteria are commonly found in freshwater environments like lakes, ponds, and rivers. They often form long, thread-like filaments that can be seen floating in the water or growing on surfaces. While cyanobacteria are generally beneficial, they can sometimes multiply rapidly to form harmful algal blooms. These blooms can produce toxins that are dangerous to humans and animals, and they can deplete oxygen in the water. Despite their potential for causing problems, cyanobacteria remain incredibly important organisms. They continue to produce oxygen through photosynthesis, fix nitrogen for ecosystems, and represent a crucial link in aquatic food webs. Archipastida represents one of the most important groups in algae classification. This diverse group includes two major types, red algae and green algae, each with unique characteristics and ecological roles. Archipastida splits into two main branches, red algae, scientifically known as rhodophyta, and green algae, called chlorophyta. Each group has evolved distinct characteristics that help them thrive in different environments. Red algae are fascinating organisms primarily found in marine environments. They get their distinctive red color from special pigments called phycobilins, which help them absorb light in deeper waters where red light is filtered out. This microscopic view shows the intricate branching structure of red algae. Notice the chain-like arrangement of cells that form long filaments. This structure helps them maximize surface area for nutrient absorption in marine waters. Green algae are incredibly diverse and can be found in both freshwater and marine environments. They are particularly important because they are the closest relatives to land plants, sharing similar photosynthetic processes. This collection shows the amazing diversity of green algae. From single-celled organisms to complex multicellular forms, green algae have evolved into countless shapes and sizes. Their green color comes from chlorophyll, the same pigment found in land plants. You encounter these algae more often than you might think. Red algae are commonly used to make nori, the dark green sheets that wrap sushi rolls. This is one of the most familiar ways people interact with marine algae. Green algae also play crucial roles in freshwater ecosystems and are being studied for potential applications in biofuels and carbon capture. Their close relationship to land plants makes them valuable for understanding plant evolution. To summarize, Archipastida represents a fundamental division in algae classification. Red algae dominate marine environments and provide us with food products like nori. Green algae show incredible diversity and are our closest algal relatives to land plants. Both groups play essential roles in aquatic ecosystems worldwide. The Rhizaria group contains two fascinating types of algae that showcase the incredible diversity of these organisms. Today we'll explore Euglenophyta and Dinophyta, each with their own unique characteristics and ecological roles. Rhizaria is a diverse group that includes two major types of algae. On one side, we have Euglenophyta, commonly known as euglenoids, and on the other side, we have Dinophyta, the dinoflagellates. Let's start with Euglenophyta, fascinating single-celled organisms commonly found in nutrient-rich freshwater environments like ponds and streams. Euglenoids like this euglena have several remarkable features. They possess a single long flagellum that acts like a whip to propel them through water. Notice the eye spot that helps them detect light, and their ability to change shape as they move. Euglenoids have two fascinating ways of moving. They can swim using their flagellum like a propeller, or they can perform a unique squirming motion called euglenoid movement, where they contract and expand their flexible body. Now let's explore Dinophyta, the dinoflagellates. These are primarily marine organisms that play crucial roles in ocean ecosystems, though some can cause problems. Dinoflagellates have a distinctive structure with two flagella that make them spin as they swim. Many have protective plates that give them an armored appearance. While most are harmless, some species can produce dangerous toxins. When conditions are right, dinoflagellates can multiply rapidly, creating massive blooms called red tides. These events can turn the water red or brown and may produce toxins that are dangerous to marine life and humans. On the beautiful side, some dinoflagellates are bioluminescent, producing stunning blue light when the water is disturbed. This creates magical displays in the ocean, especially visible at night when waves crash or fish swim through the water. To summarize, Rhizaria includes two remarkable groups. Euglenoids are flexible freshwater swimmers, while dinoflagellates are spinning marine organisms. Both showcase the incredible diversity of algae, from helpful photosynthetic organisms to those that create spectacular natural phenomena. The Chromista group represents one of the most diverse and economically important groups of algae. This fascinating group includes diatoms, golden algae, and brown algae, each with unique characteristics and applications. Let's start with diatoms, some of the most beautiful and intricate organisms in the microscopic world. These single-celled algae are truly remarkable for their glass-like shells. Diatoms are single-celled algae that create intricate shells made of silica, the same material found in glass. These microscopic organisms display some of the most beautiful geometric patterns in nature, with each species having its own unique shell design. The silica shells of diatoms serve as natural glass armor, protecting these tiny organisms while allowing light to pass through for photosynthesis. When diatoms die, their shells accumulate on ocean floors, forming deposits called diatomaceous earth. These microscopic shells have found their way into many products we use every day. The applications of diatomaceous earth are surprisingly diverse and practical. Diatomaceous earth, made from fossilized diatom shells, is used in toothpaste as a gentle abrasive that helps clean teeth without damaging enamel. It's also essential in water filtration systems, pool filters, and many industrial applications. Now let's explore the giants of the algae world, brown algae. These are the large seaweeds that create some of the most productive ecosystems on Earth. Brown algae are the giants of the algae world, with some kelp species growing over 60 meters tall. These massive seaweeds form underwater forests that rival terrestrial forests in their productivity and biodiversity. Kelp forests are among the most productive ecosystems on Earth, providing food and shelter for countless marine species, including fish, sea otters, and invertebrates. They also protect coastlines from erosion and absorb large amounts of carbon dioxide. The Chromista group showcases the incredible diversity of algae, from microscopic diatoms with their glass-like shells used in everyday products, to massive brown algae that create underwater forests supporting marine life worldwide. Photosynthesis is one of the most important biological processes on Earth, and algae are master practitioners of this life-sustaining process. The photosynthesis equation shows us exactly what happens. Carbon dioxide plus water, with the help of sunlight, produces glucose and oxygen. Now let's see how this process works specifically in algae. Unlike land plants, algae perform photosynthesis directly in aquatic environments. In this process, algae absorb carbon dioxide from the water, use sunlight as their energy source, and release oxygen as a byproduct. Here's an amazing fact. Algae are responsible for producing approximately 50 to 80% of all the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. Let's take a closer look at the diverse world of algae that perform this vital process. Algae come in many different forms and colors. At the microscopic level, algae have specialized structures that make them incredibly efficient at photosynthesis. The photosynthesis performed by algae is essentially the same process that occurs in land plants. But algae have adapted to thrive in aquatic environments where they can access dissolved carbon dioxide directly from water. This remarkable ability of algae to perform photosynthesis makes them absolutely essential for life on Earth. Every breath we take contains oxygen that was likely produced by these tiny but mighty organisms. Algae are nature's nutrient vacuum cleaners. These remarkable organisms can absorb essential nutrients from their surroundings with incredible efficiency. The three most important nutrients for algae are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen helps build proteins and chlorophyll, phosphorus is essential for energy storage, and potassium regulates cellular processes. Watch how algae absorb these nutrients directly through their cell membranes. Unlike plants with roots, algae can take up nutrients from all surfaces of their cells. The nitrogen cycle is particularly important for algae. They can use different forms of nitrogen, including nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. Algae play a crucial role in this cycle by converting different nitrogen compounds into biomass, helping to clean water systems naturally. This nutrient absorption ability makes algae incredibly useful for wastewater treatment. They can remove harmful pollutants while growing and producing valuable biomass. In these treatment systems, algae remove nitrogen and phosphorus from wastewater, preventing these nutrients from causing harmful algal blooms in natural water bodies. In natural ecosystems like lakes, algae help maintain nutrient balance. However, too many nutrients can lead to excessive algae growth. This creates a cycle where nutrients fuel algae growth, and when algae die and decompose, they release nutrients back into the water, continuing the cycle. Understanding algae's nutrient uptake helps us harness their power for environmental cleanup while managing their growth in natural systems. Algae serve as the foundation of aquatic ecosystems, acting as primary producers that convert sunlight into energy through photosynthesis. They form the base of complex food webs that support all aquatic life. This food web diagram shows how algae and other primary producers support entire aquatic ecosystems. Energy flows from algae up through zooplankton, small fish, and eventually to top predators like the osprey. Algae play a crucial role in the global carbon cycle. They absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and water, converting it into organic matter while releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Algae also play a vital role in nutrient cycling, efficiently absorbing nitrogen, phosphorus, and other essential elements from their environment. This helps maintain the chemical balance of aquatic ecosystems. Macroalgae, particularly kelp, create some of the most diverse underwater ecosystems on Earth. These underwater forests provide habitat, food, and protection for countless marine species. Beyond providing habitat, macroalgae like kelp help protect coastlines from erosion by absorbing wave energy and stabilizing sediments. This natural protection is becoming increasingly important as sea levels rise. Algae are truly the unsung heroes of aquatic ecosystems. From supporting entire food webs to cycling nutrients and protecting our coastlines, these remarkable organisms maintain the delicate balance that sustains marine life on our planet. Algae have quietly become one of the most important ingredients in our food system. From the sushi wrapper you might have eaten last week to the protein powder in health stores, algae are everywhere in our diet. You've probably eaten algae without even knowing it. Nori, the dark green sheets that wrap sushi, is actually red algae. Wakame adds that distinctive taste to miso soup. And spirulina, the blue-green superfood, is packed into smoothies and supplements worldwide. What makes algae so special nutritionally? Take spirulina as an example. This tiny organism contains more protein per gram than beef, plus essential vitamins and minerals. It's particularly rich in iron, providing 72% of your daily needs in just 10 grams. Algae aren't just transforming human nutrition, they're revolutionizing animal feed too. Fish farms use algae to create healthier, more sustainable seafood. Livestock-fed algae-based feed produce meat with better nutritional profiles and lower environmental impact. The algae food market is booming, projected to reach over $70 billion by 2032. This growth is driven by increasing demand for sustainable protein sources. Algae require minimal land and water compared to traditional crops, making them a key solution for feeding our growing population sustainably. Algae represent one of the most promising sources for renewable biofuel production. These microscopic organisms can be converted into clean-burning fuels that could help replace fossil fuels. Algae can be converted into two main types of biofuels. Biodiesel is produced from algae oils and can power diesel engines. Bioethanol is created through fermentation and works in gasoline engines. What makes algae so promising for biofuel production? First, algae grow incredibly fast, much faster than traditional crops. They can double their biomass in just hours under the right conditions. Another major advantage is that algae don't require arable farmland. They can be grown in ponds, tanks, or even wastewater, leaving valuable agricultural land free for food production. The conversion process involves extracting oils from algae cells for biodiesel, or fermenting the algae biomass to produce bioethanol. Both processes create clean-burning fuels that produce fewer emissions than fossil fuels. However, challenges remain. Current algae biofuel production is more expensive than fossil fuels. Researchers are working to improve cultivation methods, increase oil yields, and reduce processing costs to make algae biofuels commercially viable. Algae are nature's chemical factories, producing powerful bioactive compounds that have revolutionized both pharmaceutical and cosmetic industries. Algae cells produce a variety of bioactive compounds, including powerful antioxidants, anti-inflammatory agents, essential vitamins, and minerals. These valuable compounds are carefully extracted from algae and processed into pharmaceutical drugs, nutraceuticals, and cosmetic products. In pharmaceuticals, algae compounds are used for antioxidant therapy to fight cellular damage, anti-inflammatory treatments, immune system support, and cardiovascular health supplements. In cosmetics, algae extracts provide deep moisturizing, skin protection from environmental damage, anti-aging properties, gentle cleansing, and efficient nutrient delivery to skin cells. Red marine algae is particularly popular in skincare. It conditions the skin, provides deep hydration, softens skin texture, and helps detoxify pores for healthier-looking skin. Remember these key points. Algae produce powerful bioactive compounds. They're widely used in pharmaceuticals for various health benefits. They're increasingly popular in cosmetics for skincare. And you should check your skincare product labels. You might be surprised how many contain algae extracts. Algae are remarkable organisms that can act as nature's cleanup crew, removing pollutants from both water and air. This makes them powerful tools for environmental remediation. Imagine polluted water containing various contaminants like heavy metals, excess nutrients, and toxic chemicals. These pollutants harm aquatic ecosystems and can be dangerous to human health. Enter algae. These microscopic powerhouses can absorb and break down many types of pollutants. They act like tiny biological filters, cleaning the water as they grow. As algae enter the polluted water, they begin absorbing nutrients and contaminants. Heavy metals, excess nitrogen and phosphorus, and other harmful substances are taken up by the algae cells. Different species of algae have various capabilities for pollution control. They can absorb heavy metals like lead and mercury, remove excess nutrients that cause harmful algal blooms, break down toxic organic compounds, and produce oxygen that helps restore aquatic ecosystems. Algae-based pollution control is being used in wastewater treatment plants, industrial cleanup sites, agricultural areas to control runoff, and even for air pollution reduction. Some facilities use algae ponds to treat sewage, while others employ algae bioreactors for targeted pollutant removal. Algae-based pollution control offers several key benefits. It's sustainable and environmentally friendly, often more cost-effective than traditional methods, and the algae biomass produced can be harvested for other uses like biofuel or fertilizer, creating a circular economy approach. Algae represent one of nature's most effective pollution solutions, offering a sustainable way to clean our environment while creating valuable resources. As we face growing environmental challenges, these microscopic organisms provide hope for a cleaner future. Algaculture is the practice of farming algae, just like traditional agriculture farms crops. This emerging field focuses on cultivating both microscopic and large algae for numerous valuable applications. Algaculture involves two main types of algae. Let's examine the key differences between microalgae and macroalgae, which require different farming approaches and have distinct applications. Algae farming uses specialized cultivation systems. Microalgae are typically grown in controlled bioreactors or open ponds, while macroalgae like seaweed are cultivated in marine environments using rope and net systems. Algaculture produces algae for diverse applications. These include nutritious food products, animal feed, sustainable biofuels, and high-value compounds for pharmaceuticals and cosmetics. What makes algaculture truly remarkable is its sustainability. Instead of using fresh resources, algae farms can utilize wastewater as a nutrient source and capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, creating a beneficial environmental cycle. Algaculture represents a revolutionary approach to sustainable agriculture. By farming algae efficiently, we can produce valuable products while simultaneously cleaning our environment and reducing carbon emissions. The global algae products market is experiencing incredible growth. In 2024, the market reached a value of $41.88 billion, representing a massive industry that's expanding rapidly. But this is just the beginning. Industry experts project that by 2032, the algae market will reach an astounding $70.28 billion. That represents a growth rate of 6.78% annually. To understand this growth better, let's look at how the algae market is segmented by different product types and applications. This chart shows us the market breakdown. Macroalgae, which includes seaweeds, dominates the market, followed by microalgae. The applications are incredibly diverse, spanning food and beverages, pharmaceuticals, animal feed, wastewater treatment, and many other sectors. The diversity of algae applications is truly remarkable. From traditional uses in food to cutting-edge applications in biofuels and bioplastics, algae is becoming essential across multiple industries. This diagram illustrates the commercial versatility of algae. Each arrow represents a different industry where algae products are making a significant impact, from cosmetics and pharmaceuticals to animal feed and fertilizers. What's driving this explosive growth? Several key factors are pushing the algae market forward. First, there's increasing demand for sustainable food sources. Algae provides high-quality protein and nutrients while requiring minimal resources compared to traditional agriculture. Second, the push for renewable energy has made algae-based biofuels increasingly attractive as an alternative to fossil fuels. Third, environmental concerns are driving demand for algae in pollution control and carbon capture applications. The numbers speak for themselves. With a market growing from $41.88 billion to over $70 billion in just 8 years, algae represents one of the most promising sectors in biotechnology today. Microalgae are nature's carbon capture champions, working at incredible speeds to remove carbon dioxide from our atmosphere. Microalgae can capture carbon dioxide up to 50 times faster than terrestrial plants. This extraordinary efficiency makes them incredibly valuable in our fight against climate change. Here are the impressive numbers. 1 kilogram of cultivated algal biomass can remove about 1.83 kilograms of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This diagram shows how algae systems work in practice. Sunlight, nutrients, and water feed algae growth in specialized reactors, where the algae simultaneously capture carbon dioxide and produce valuable products like biofuels and bioplastics. Even more impressive, algae can consume various waste products while capturing carbon dioxide. Through photosynthesis, they convert industrial waste, domestic waste, and agricultural waste into high-value products, making the process both environmentally beneficial and economically viable. This incredible efficiency makes algae a powerful tool in our fight against climate change. Large-scale algae cultivation could significantly reduce atmospheric carbon dioxide levels while producing useful materials for our economy. The key takeaway is that algae represent one of nature's most efficient carbon capture systems, offering hope for addressing climate change while creating valuable products for human use. Wastewater treatment is a critical environmental challenge. Every day, billions of gallons of dirty water from homes, businesses, and industries need to be cleaned before returning to our environment. Traditional treatment methods work, but they're energy-intensive and don't capture carbon dioxide. That's where algae come in as nature's own water purifiers. Algae work by absorbing nutrients and pollutants directly from the water. They use nitrogen, phosphorus, and other contaminants as food, effectively cleaning the water as they grow. But here's the amazing part. While algae clean the water, they also capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This creates a double environmental benefit. Real-world applications are already showing incredible results. Here's an example of controlled algae cultivation systems being used for water treatment. In many cities, algae-based treatment systems are being integrated directly into water management infrastructure, creating sustainable solutions for urban wastewater. Large-scale algae farms like this one demonstrate the industrial potential of algae-based wastewater treatment, processing thousands of gallons per day while capturing significant amounts of carbon dioxide. The numbers are impressive. Algae can remove up to 90% of nitrogen and phosphorus from wastewater, while capturing carbon up to 50 times faster than land plants. This technology is transforming how we think about waste treatment. Algae-based wastewater treatment represents a perfect example of working with nature to solve environmental challenges. It's efficient, sustainable, and creates multiple benefits from a single process. Genetic engineering of algae represents one of the most exciting frontiers in biotechnology. Scientists are now able to modify the genetic code of algae to create supercharged organisms with enhanced capabilities. The genetic modification process involves precisely editing the DNA of algae cells. Scientists use advanced techniques to insert, delete, or modify specific genes that control various cellular functions. Through genetic engineering, scientists can dramatically enhance algae's natural capabilities. They can boost photosynthetic efficiency, increase biomass production, and even program algae to produce valuable compounds. One of the most promising applications is carbon capture. Genetically modified algae can absorb carbon dioxide up to 50 times faster than regular plants, making them powerful tools in fighting climate change. Genetic engineering also enables algae to tackle pollution more effectively. Modified algae can be designed to break down specific pollutants, remove heavy metals from water, and even neutralize toxic compounds. The production capabilities of genetically modified algae are truly remarkable. Scientists can engineer algae to produce biofuels, pharmaceuticals, food additives, and even biodegradable plastics through optimized cultivation systems. This field represents the cutting edge of biotechnology research. With advances in gene editing tools like CRISPR and synthetic biology, the potential applications are virtually limitless. We're just beginning to unlock what's possible with engineered algae. Phycology presents a fascinating balance of challenges and opportunities. While algae hold tremendous potential for solving global problems, researchers and industry face significant hurdles in realizing this potential. The challenges in phycology are substantial, but not insurmountable. The biggest hurdle is scaling up production from laboratory settings to industrial levels that can meet global demand. Cost reduction is another major challenge. Current algae production methods are often more expensive than traditional alternatives, making it difficult to compete in the marketplace. Technology limitations also pose significant challenges. Current cultivation, harvesting, and processing methods need improvement to become more efficient and economically viable. Despite these challenges, the opportunities in phycology are enormous. The global algae market is projected to reach over $70 billion by 2032, representing massive growth potential. Climate change solutions represent another huge opportunity. Algae can capture carbon up to 50 times faster than terrestrial plants, making them powerful tools for carbon sequestration. Technological advances in artificial intelligence, automation, and genetic engineering are opening new possibilities for optimizing algae production and creating specialized algae strains. Real-world examples show how these opportunities are being realized. Advanced extraction technologies are making algae processing more efficient and cost-effective. This diagram shows a single-step oil extraction process that uses electromagnetic fields and carbon dioxide to efficiently extract lipids from algae. Such innovations are helping overcome traditional production challenges. The path forward in phycology requires balancing these challenges with opportunities. Continued research and development, combined with strategic investment and policy support, will determine how quickly algae can fulfill their potential. The future of algae is incredibly bright and full of exciting possibilities. As we face global challenges like climate change and food security, algae are emerging as a powerful solution with applications we're only beginning to explore. The global algae market is experiencing explosive growth. From $41.88 billion in 2024, it's projected to reach over $70 billion by 2032. That's a remarkable 68% increase, showing just how much the world is recognizing algae's potential. Future algae applications span multiple revolutionary areas. In carbon capture, algae can absorb CO2 50 times faster than trees. They're becoming a sustainable protein source for food security, producing clean biofuels for renewable energy, treating wastewater to remove pollutants, And through genetic engineering, we're enhancing their natural capabilities even further. The future of algae production will be powered by cutting edge technology. Artificial intelligence and automation are being integrated to create smart monitoring systems that track growth conditions in real time, optimize production processes automatically, and enable fully automated harvesting. This technological revolution will make algae farming more efficient and cost effective than ever before. Looking at the global impact timeline, we can see exciting milestones ahead. By 2025, the European Union aims to double algae production. By 2030, we expect to see large-scale carbon capture facilities using algae technology. And by 2035, algae-based food products will likely become mainstream in our daily diets, revolutionizing how we think about sustainable nutrition. Algae represent genuine hope for our planet's future. They offer solutions to climate change through carbon capture, address food security with sustainable nutrition, and tackle environmental challenges using nature's most efficient organisms. The future of algae isn't just bright, it's essential for creating a sustainable world for generations to come. So, what have we learned today about the fascinating world of phycology? Phycology is the scientific study of algae, those remarkable photosynthetic organisms that play such crucial roles in our world. We've learned that algae are incredibly diverse organisms, ranging from microscopic single cells to massive underwater forests. They're the unsung heroes of our planet, producing much of the oxygen we breathe and playing vital roles in carbon cycling. Algae have an amazing range of applications. They're used in food and animal feed, converted into sustainable biofuels, processed into medicines and cosmetics, and even used to clean up pollution from our environment. The future of algae is incredibly promising. The global algae market is projected to grow from $42 billion to over $70 billion by 2032. Algae can capture carbon up to 50 times faster than land plants, making them crucial for fighting climate change. So keep an eye on algae. From the tiniest microorganisms to the largest seaweeds, these remarkable organisms are going to be a big part of our sustainable future. The study of phycology opens doors to solutions for food security, clean energy, and environmental protection.